Friends, family, fans, the New York Jets are 4-2. And that's all that matters right now. But we will get into some golf picks too. It's a good day to be a New York Jets fan, and it's not often you get to say that. So, welcome to the Jet Spin Zone. It's going to be a banger. We have episode 39. We are rolling through these episodes hot and quickly, just like Jets do to their opponents every single time they play nowadays. Episode 39, Enter Sandman. It's a banger song, and we've got a banger outright. I think we have the winner. It's going to be a goodie. We have the winner in the sheets. We have the course preview thingy. We've got all sorts of wonderful things out there. We've got rotoballer.com articles flying out of my fingertips, left, right, and center. So go check those out on rotoballer.com. If you want to subscribe to the premium stuff, which I will be starting to provide premium written content, use rotoballer.com/radio to get yourself 50% off, and then use code MANIAC for another 10%, folks. You can get my stuff, you can get Spencer's stuff, you can get Joe Nicely's stuff out there, all the premium optimizers, all the lineup tools you could wish for, all of our good content, the whole shebang. It's super affordable. Go check it out, rotoballer.com/radio, use code MANIAC. Also, if you don't want to buy a premium subscription, once this show's done, feel free to comment in the comment section. I don't know where else you would comment, but comment what your favorite bet was from today, and I'll reach out to a lucky winner, just like I did last time, for a few months worth of free subscription to rotoballer.com. So we are friendly, we are fanatical, and we want you to be a fan of this show. So thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to do that. Don't forget to leave your Twitter handle in the show notes, in the detail, whatever. I am spinning my wheels. Let's get into what we're actually here for. It's the goddamn CJ Cup. It is a beautiful event. We got superstars flooding the field this week. Before we get there, we've only been to Congaree Golf Club once before, and that was when my boy Gadikigo showed up and won the golf tournament. He was sensational. He was cutting dog legs like a mental dog murderer person. I don't know what I'm getting on about you, but that's going to probably be a terrible line to listen back to. It is what it is. What you want to do is be able to punish the dog legs with distance. Off the tee, distance and accuracy, essential. Last year, according to Data Golf, 20% more correlation for distance on that golf course compared to tour average. Yes, we're only using one round of golf, but it shows you distance at this venue, essential. You can succeed and have success here if you can bomb it. Also, you want to be accurate, though. If you're not on the fairways, you're in trouble. So hit those damn fairways, but they are big and wide, like we discussed on the BetSpurt show we did earlier today with me and my boy, PGA Splits 101. Approach play always king, 27% of the fraction of the pie. However, we want to make sure that we've got the off-the-tee stuff way up there too. Around the greens, lots of bunkers, lots of tight lies. We want tidy around the green stuff and good bunker players, a.k.a. enter Sandman. Putting not as important this week. We don't really care too much about putting. It's a ball striker's paradise. We obviously will take a good putter here and there. Then when it comes to proximity numbers for approach, 125 to 200 is a big old bucket. We got a casual 53% of shots coming from that range. And then you can add another 14.5% to get to about 2/3 worth all the shots coming from 125 to 200 and then 250 plus. So we got some long assholes out there, some drivable par fours and 3 long par fives. So those are where the long shots come in from. And the rest of them are all wedgy, kind of mid-iron ranges. So we're going to have a fun week. We're going to see some scores go low, hopefully. Hopefully not too low, because Enter Sandman likes medium courses. There we go. So, yes, this is what the model looks like. 5% stats from 2023, 95% stats from 2022 last year, the season. We're not living in the future here. We are living on the weird-ass PGA Tour calendar schedule, which We are now in 2023. Statistics, 25% course history here means nothing. We barely got any guys that have played here before. And if they had, it's either 2 rounds or 4 rounds. Not enough for me to give a crap about. Then we got official world golf ranking points, 10%. And then the last 24 rounds, 5%. We don't really care too much about that. A lot of these guys have been off. Who knows? They probably reset to their baseline anyway. Strokes gained approach, 35% for total. As you can see, we've proportionately distributed the proximity buckets. So we've got 4% there in the 150 to 175 and 175 to 200 range. Very important range there. I think that's where all the scoring is going to happen. And then you want to be able to hit that 250 plus shot into the long holes. Important stuff. 5% total for Bermuda putting. That's it for putting. Nothing too crazy. Then par 5 average. We ramped that up to 15%, even though there are 3 par 5s only. There are 2 drivable par 4s, which are basically a second half of a par 5, if you ask me. So that's why we've ramped that all the way up there. We've got 5% out of the sand proximity because there are bunkers all over this golf course, and then 5% just for around the green. So feel free to put a little bit of around the green stuff and some sand proximities into your metrics. And then we've got total driving for 30 freaking percent. That's probably the highest I've had it in the model for a while. So 10% off the tee, strokes gained, 5% for accuracy, 10% for distance, and then 5% for the last 24 rounds off the tee. So it's going to be a big ball striking week. We got a total of 65% there for the ball striking side of things. And it's going to be fun. I think we've got a big, hefty field that we're going to look forward to getting into. And here they are, folks. We, as always, are going to go down probably the top few ranked guys in the model. We're not sorting it by the DK salary, although that is on the left-hand side of the screen here, along with some very sketchy ownership percentages that I loaded up this morning. So don't take those as gospel. They're just a very vague guideline. Number 1 in the model. If you're ramping up the off-the-tee stuff, it's going to be Rory McIlroy. And he is too expensive in the betting market to even get to. He's in like single bullet range. I don't know. This course doesn't seem to separate him from the rest of the field exactly how we would wish for. I think he's obviously still one of the top favorites, but I don't think he's the favorite. And I don't think I'm going to go to him in DFS. You got to pick your battles at the top of the board here. And Rory's going to be Chalk City. So I'm out. I'm just going to be out on him. I like Jon Rahm at a lesser owned price and a lesser owned amount of ownership there. We are fumbling through our words today. I just woke up from a nap. Full apologies on that one there. So yeah, we'll get to Jon Rahm in a little bit, but Rory McIlroy, number 1 in the model, but that doesn't mean we have to play him. I think he's going to be super popular. A lot of his stuff he does on this course makes a lot of sense. He's going to be able to cut those dog legs. He's going to be able to, hit those good approach shots in there. We'll see what he gets up to. I mean, he's one of the best in the par 5s too. So it's going to be scary fading him. We got to do it. We've seen. We went chalky with Sungjae last week. He finished T30. He was like the most owned guy. So there's an opportunity, especially in such a field like this with some good players. You don't have to necessarily play the chalkiest guy in the world because a Scotty Scheffler, who's been striking the ball better than Rory McIlroy over the last 24 rounds, I hope to God that he has worked on his putting and that it bounces back for him because he's going to need it. I don't know if Scotty's going to putt well, but we are going to definitely sprinkle a little bit of Scotty into our lineups. He's not going to be the core. I don't think he's going to have to be because I don't see him pushing much more than 15% in this range. I think everyone's going to want to go to Jon Rahm, Justin Thomas, or Rory McIlroy before they click Scotty Scheffler, in my opinion. So therefore, I'm going to sprinkle him in with a little bit of Jon Rahm, with a little bit of some other guys that we keep in our core lineups down in the 9K range once we get there. So I love Scotty Scheffler. If you look, this is the last 24 rounds. Off the tee and on approach, the guy is just super, super solid. Absolutely love to see that. He plays medium courses, one of the best in the field. His off the tee stuff generally is amazing. He's got decent distance, not Rory McIlroy type distance, but nice distance. He can step on it when he wants to, and his approach play is super solid. We love to see that. Boy, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to roll through some names here, folks. Please don't forget to put your comment in the thing after you've watched the video. If it's not the live stream, we would love to see who your favorite bet is when we get there. We are getting there slowly, so just hang tight. Justin Thomas is next. What have I got here? Not sure what kind of JT we get after break. Probably lean on Scotty as pivot off of Rory. I put a whole bunch of notes in my thing because I'm prepared now. So that's what exactly we're going to do. JT, good play. I like him. Got to pivot to someone. Got to do it off of Rory. We're going to go to Scotty. I like him there. He's basically the same version as Justin Thomas. Better ball striker. And they've both been putting pretty crappy. I mean, if you look at Justin Thomas's putting, it ain't been good either. So why are people going to JT when you can play Scotty at less owned even than JT? So going to do Scotty again. We'll get to Rahm in a little bit when talk about what we like from him. Sung Jae's next in the model. He's fourth. His worst non-US finish since July is a T15. Not worried about jet lag for him from Japan because this guy is a perennial golfer. He always plays every single week. He does it regardless. He just plays and plays and plays. He's done it his whole career. I'm not worried about jet lag for him. I checked when he came back from the Open. Life was good for him. He went right back into the top 20 form that he has been in. And Sung Jae Im is just one of those consistently good players. I think you can, base. If I go with Scotty and Sung Jae, a little bit of John Rahm and Sung Jae, I feel like that's going to be a very solid start to the lineups that you want to build because we don't have Rory. So that's a lot of ownership that we're dodging right away. And, Rory's the most expensive guy in the field. So you got to remember that. Sung Jae is sitting at $1,500 less than him. I don't say Sung Jae is better than him, but he's definitely very, very consistent. And he's going to be up there. So this golf course suits him a little bit too. He likes to hit fairways. He likes to hit greens. He's got a super tidy short game. All of the above is why we like Sung Jae this week. And he is going to be one of our plays for certain. Johnny Rahm. John Rambo Rahm. He is back. Rambo's back. He's been doing good things over in Europe. I think he won a Spanish tournament. His putter is lights out. Says, putting lights out right now. And off the tee is third in the field. Should dominate par fives. What are wedges looking like? I think that's going to be the biggest thing we're looking for from Rahm. I don't think we're going to see that many wedges. I think Rahm's in those proximity buckets. He hits it so far, he's going to hit it through the wedge range into like the little flick wedge thing, which I think he's not too bad at. And also, it looks like his wedges are going to be fine. I was watching a little bit of golf with him, and he's always got too much spin on his wedges, which I think is what causes the issues. But on a nice, firm golf course like this, who knows? I think the more spin you have, the better. I don't think it's going to be super soft where the spin is going to be uncontrollable for John Rahm. A wet golf course for John Rahm and his wedges is always tough. So we're going to try and avoid that. And I think a nice sand-based dry Congaree is exactly where John Rahm should be. Put that in your poetic library. So John Rahm, love him. Off the distance thing, he's the third best driver in the field behind Cameron Young and Rory McIlroy. They got monster distance, super solid. Love to see that. His putting is going great. John Rahm's approach play has been better, which has always been a problem for him. That's kind of bouncing back now a little bit, I think. I mean, we'll see. The last few rounds, not so hot, 24, but he won a goddamn tournament in Europe. So something's got to be going right. I like him here a lot over Rory. I like his long irons into the long holes. I like what he's going to do on the par fives. That's my favorite part about John Rahm's game. I think he's back. Now, to our first and very first bet of the day. The episode is named after Mr. Shane Lowry. Enter Sandman. The best bunker player in the field is Shane Lowry. We've got a million bunkers everywhere. Shane Lowry is going to be the winner this week, folks. I think he's going to be my one and done play. He's going to be in a lot of my lineups. I'm going to Shane Lowry for sure. Got him at 40 to 1 on Bet Rivers. I think it's still out there at 35. Go grab yourself a Shane Lowry. He's going to be the winner, folks. He is going to be the winner. The last 24 rounds on approach, looking very good. Just shortly out there behind Scotty and Tom Kim. You know, he's been jawling. He's been playing some good stuff. Medium golf courses. He's one of the best on medium golf courses, which is when the average top 5 scores at that venue sit between minus 15 and minus 10. He's not a birdie festival kind of guy. Shane Lowry likes to drink Guinness. He's not out there doing LSD and stuff. You know, no festivals for Shane. He's a sit at the pub, just crank out a minus 12 round and win it. He likes to grind. He likes to scramble around the greens. Around the green stuff for Shane has been phenomenal, especially out of the sand. Love to see that from Shane. The putting has been a problem prior to the last few tournaments he's played. Seems like it's bounced back. It's got about neutral. We don't really care too much about the putter here. It's not that important because it's not a birdie fish. You don't have to make that many birdies. You can scramble your way around this golf course quite easily. So Shane Lowry, 35 to 1. We've also got him on BetMGM at, I believe, plus 100 for a top 20. So all of these BetMGM's got the top 20s out there. Shane Lowry is top 20, even money. Go get yourself one of those. They pay ties out in full. It's exactly what you want to see because a top 20 ties paid in full could be, you only have to beat like 2/3 of the field. If you land up tying for T19, that's like 2/3 of a third of the field that's kind of inside the top 20 basically out of 78 people. So yeah, I mean, even money, if you tell me Shane Lowry is not going to beat 2/3 of the field this week on a golf course that really suits his game, he's $8,300 and he's ranked 6th in the model. So he's one of the biggest pivot, value play, bomb squad, city, anything you want to use. Shane Lowry's that guy. So we're going to be going on him. Hardcore, heavy-handed Shane Lowry. Enter Sandman. Ball striking has been solid and best bunker play in the field. Putter seems to have been fixed. 3rd best on medium courses is the note I put in there for Shane Lowry. I agree on last night's version of what I wrote there. 6th in the model, Shane Lowry, $8,300. Medium ownership compared to who's going to be around him. So yes, sign us up for Shane Lowry this week. Colin Morikawa, one of the better ball strikers in the field. I don't want anything to do with him in non-majors. His short game just never seems to show up enough. Even at this ownership, 10%-ish, I just can't get to him. I don't think I want to deal with his short game on courses that aren't at majors. We're out. Tom Kim, on the other hand, I want all of Tom Kim. Every single little bit of him. $8,900, roughly 15-ish% owned, 8th in the model. Recent form is phenomenal. Just won a tournament 2 weeks ago. Hello, Tom Kim. Welcome to the biggest event you're going to play in since arriving on the scene. We've got 15 of the top 20 world golf ranking players in the field, in the world, in this field. How many times can you say field in one sentence? That's what's going on this week. It's loaded, star-studded. It's going to be a banger. Tom Kim is going to be definitely rostered in our player pool. He's not bet in any capacity. The odds are super skinny on him. And, you know, he doesn't have the absolute distance that you're looking for at this venue. So I don't think he's going to be a winner because Shane Lowry is going to be that guy. But he's probably going to finish 2nd or whatever. We'll see what else goes on with a few of our other outrights. But Tom Kim, perfect pivot, as course also requires accuracy off the tee. Not worried about Japan for Tom, #Quail. That is the note I put in here for Thomas Kim. Ju Young Kim. I think people aren't going to be as much on him because he doesn't have that distance. So he's a good DFS play. I think. This guy can play on any golf course. #Quail. Big golf course out there. He showed a few boys what he was capable of. So if he's got energy to bounce back after a little lackluster Japan trip, which I think he finished inside the top 30, still half the field, well, you know, it's okay. I think he's going to bounce back this week. I want him to show us what he's made of in a big field. That's going to be super fun to see. Tom Kim's approach play, amazing. Scrambling, amazing. Out of the sand, he's great. Par 5 scoring for a guy that doesn't have as much length as you could wish for, still reasonable for Tom Kim. So we're definitely going to have him in a few lineups. Sam Burns, 9th in the model. He's looking like he might not be that owned. I don't know why. Maybe because he's between Tom Kim and Max Homa. Sam Burns might be a little sneaky play. What's Sam Burns good at? Man, he pounds it off the tee. I think my boy Ron, PGA Splits 101, on our Bet Spurts show earlier said he's got the 3 Ps. He's got power, he's got precision, and he's got putting. I feel like I'm about to bust out the pom-poms for Sam Burns over here. He's awesome. 11% owned per the sketchy ownership numbers I got earlier. $9,300, 9th in the model, distance off the tee, accuracy on approach, one of the best putters in the field. Sam Burns, ladies and gentlemen. Put him in your player pool. He was an absolute consideration for an outright bet at roughly 30-1. I've been burnt by the man a few times, so I just couldn't quite get there, but we're going to play him in DFS. He makes a ton of birdies. So sign us up for Sam Burns for 4 straight rounds of golf. I think he's going to be outside of his ownership. He's going to absolutely crush. So Sam Burns is going to be fun to watch this week. Love his length. Ball striking is great. President's Cup, ! Lost putting at Sanderson, back on Bermuda greens. Those were the notes from last night. So Sam Burns, love to see that from him. Next up, Maximus Homa. Maximus Homa won the 40 net 2 weekends ago. Finished 20th-ish at the Shriners last week or 2 weeks ago, and has had a little bit of a break. Going to be a dad soon. His missus is about to pop, so hopefully Max can rattle one off one more time before he becomes a dad, because we all know what that means. The golf game's about to go down the drain, along with a few diapers and other things. So we got to get Max in before it's too late. He's going to be a very popular DFS play, and we may or may not go there, depending on how ownership goes. I mean, I think it's going to be over 20%, if I'm being honest with you. He's got off the tee. He's got approach. He's got a very tidy short game. He is electric out of the sand. He is also a par 5 beast. He absolutely crushes the par 5s. If you take a look at Max Homa's par 5 scoring, it's one of the best in this column right here. You know, only Rory and JT are beating him in the par 5s, along with some Scotty action. So he's very, very good when it comes to the long par 5s. He's got the length to reach those par 4s that are very reachable for the longer hitters. He can cut the dog legs. He's going to be on our card as an outright, 31-1 on FanDuel. I believe they're still hanging that on him. DraftKings has him at 16-1. So FanDuel's hanging double the number on Max Homa. I don't know. They must know something about his wife's pregnancy that we don't, because that number's ludicrous. BetMGM has Max Homa for a top 20 at -110. Go fetch yourself some of that. If he's got his B game, I think a top 20 for Max Homa is on the cards for sure. A game, he wins the goddamn tournament. But I think he finished second to Shane Lowry into Sandman. Hashtag let's go. Anyway, moving on. The next pivot. Course fit is great for Hideki Matsuyama. Losing off the tee the last 33 rounds. Look to add late in tournament or showdown. Hideki Matsuyama is one of the most tilting golfers there is. Absolute potential factory. The guy is he's obviously won the Masters. Very, very good golfer. His baseline skill set suits this golf course so very well. Distance off the tee, immaculate iron play, very good out of the bunkers, solid short game, average putter. That's Hideki Matsuyama for ya in a nutshell. He's looking like he's going to be around about 5% owned as one of the best players in the world on a golf course that, if he plays as good as he can win this goddamn golf tournament. So he's going to be an absolute pivot play for me. We're going to throw him in with a bunch of these top guys. He's $8,700. And if he's a low-owned Hideki, you don't even have to play that much of him. Put him in like 15, 20% of your lineups and then take a chance. I mean, at 5%, you're going to be 4 times the field. Let's rock and roll. Why don't you want Hideki Matsuyama off the tee? It's been really sketchy lately. We're going to the biggest fairways on tour. He's got the distance. He's got the Ps. He's got 2 Ps, power and precision. The putting, it is what it is for Hideki. So sign me up for some Hideki at 5%. Hello. Matt Fitzpatrick, Cameron Young, Jordan Spieth. I'm just going to skip over all of them. What did I say? Yeah. Tough ending to the season for Matty Fitzpatrick, but seems popular again. Lost almost half a stroke on approach the last 20 rounds he's played. Pass. Yep. That's the note from Linda Q last night. We are going to listen to him. Cameron Young. Same as Hideki, great course fit, but recent form is ass. So that's a fun little note from me last night. I really think that's funny. Cameron Young, same thing. Awesome course fit. He's triple, possibly pushing quadruple the ownership Hideki would be at. They're basically the same player, with Hideki just not having the long game that he does off the tee. Still a very good drive of the ball. Cameron Young is one of the chalkiest guys in the 8K range. So we're going to pass on him. Jordan Spieth, off the tee could cause issues here. That's the reason we're passing on him. I don't know. I mean, is he going to bring that Ryder Cup passion and poise, precision to the game this week, playing on his own without JT around him, without JT having to need Jordan to play Magic Bean squad and bail him out of the most random, ludicrous situations? I'm not entirely sure. I probably think if I were to play one of these three guys, it would be Jordan Spieth. I just think, I don't know. But when you think of Spieth, you think of him, I just think, I don't know what to think about him. So we're just going to not play him. I guess that's the situation. That's the situation. We're going to keep going down. Aaron Wise, 15th in the model, $7,800, going to be very popular down in the bottom range here. 16%-ish owned. That could push, up a little bit even. I think he's going to be a very popular player because why? We have him as an outright bet, 55-1 on BetMGM. I got a little bit of a boost there. I think he's 50-1 out there, maybe 45. Still, would definitely play him at 45. Aaron Wise has been, man, he's a good driver of the golf ball off the tee. So last 24 rounds, he's one of the best in the field. The approach play has been a little sketchy. If he can bounce back on that side of things, typically he's a very good approach player. So if you can get that figured out, I think Aaron Wise is a fantastic player. Yes, the bunker play is atrocious. He's absolutely disgustingly bad out of the sand. But his ball striking is so solid. He's one of the most consistent players off the tee. And to me, that is essential. Yeah, he's got length and he's got accuracy. I know it's a negative accuracy, but for guys that have immense length, it's tough to be that accurate. I mean, Keith Mitchell's basically in his own squad here. He's one of the longest drivers in the field and still above average in accuracy, which is very impressive. What were we talking about here? Aaron Wise, he's not terrible. The accuracy is a little deficient by the distance there, but he's very, very good, especially from this range, from 125 to 200, 250 plus. He's got one of the darkest squares out here, not towards the top of the board. We've got the premium elite ball strikers, but he's down here at $7,800 and things are looking good for him. So if you want to play a chalky Aaron Wise, go for it. Just make sure you do some stuff different, play him enough so you got enough of him. Probably want to play like at least half your lineups almost, because he's going to be very popular. So I don't know if we're going to go there, but we've definitely got him for an outright. And the weird thing I've done now, and I don't typically do this, is I put my own personal outrights in, and those are them. It's Max Homer, Shane Lowry, and Aaron Wise. And then I wrote the Breaking 100 article for rotoballer.com/radio. Use code MANIAC for 50% off. I wrote about him, and I decided to delete him out the article and add 4 other guys that are like 80-1 or worse in. So I might have to just add those dudes to my card as well. Typically, I try and keep it so that I have 10 events to hit a winner before I'm breaking the bank. I might have to add all those dudes to try and get it. Imagine you write an article and you tout the winner, but your personal bank account doesn't benefit from it. That would be gut-wrenching. So we might have to change that up a bit, go a little aggressive. What do we write about your Aaron Wise? Not sure why I bet him. Ooh, boy. Recent approach play has been poor, horrible out of bunkers. Maybe that's why I never put him in the article. Late night Linda Q last night was writing some mean messages to the Back Nine Bets episode, but Aaron Wise, 55-1, did not make the Breaking 100 article. Probably not going to play him because of the iron play, especially at that chalky value. We'll go to Tom Hoagie instead, where we know what we're going to get. Russell Henley, 7% owned, $7,300. This guy's 16th in the model. He's the second highest ranked guy in the 7K range, and he's $7,300. He's almost in the 6K range. This guy doesn't have the distance off the tee, but man, is he accurate. And man, are his irons very good. And man, can he dial them in. Guess what? His best putting surface, which is typically not the best for him, this BG column right here is Bermuda putting over the last 50 rounds. And he's above average, albeit very slightly. He's above average, folks. And Russell Henley is not above average when it comes to putting on most surfaces. Bermuda, he is. If he can avoid the sand, which he is, him and Aaron Wise need to just become sand buddies because they aren't very good. They are very, very bad out of the sand. They need some Shane Lowry in their life into Sandman. But we do like a Russell Henley. We like him a lot, especially at 7%. This guy, he makes a decent amount of birdies, folks. So go ahead and play yourself some Russell Henley. $7,300, 7% owned. Hello, Russell. Tom Hoagie, got him in a matchup over. I will get back to you on that. Oh, Andrew Putnam. Andrew Putnam versus Tom Hoagie in a matchup. Andrew Putnam's distance off the tee is very, very poor. Let's actually do this. We go Hoagie, add him to the mix. Then we add Putnam. And then you can see their different things. So they're about the same DraftKings price. Andrew Putnam's about half the ownership. But Tom Hoagie's ranked in the model 17th. Andrew Putnam's ranked 57th. Andrew Putnam's playing really good golf right now. As you can see, over the last 24 rounds, they're about even. But if you go back further than that, Tom Hoagie's typically a much better golfer. He's also a much better ball striker. He hits it very well. His approach play is miles ahead of Andrew Putnam's. His driving ability is also about a good chunk ahead of Andrew. So if you go into a ball striker's paradise where putting isn't that crucial, give me 4 days of Tom Hoagie ball striking the crap out of it over Andrew Putnam at -120 on DraftKings. I know my boy T of Sports is also advocator of that bet. We had a little collaboration in the DMs. He likes it too. We like that bet. I think we're going to go with it. We are going with it. We're in. We signed up. Tom Hoagie over Andrew Putnam, -120 on DraftKings. It's going to be tough for Putnam to keep the short game firing for 4 straight days to hang with these ball strikers. You got to make a lot of putts. You got to hit a lot of good chips. He's going to be hitting into these greens from so far away. His distance is very, very short. And I just think from a matchup perspective, Tom Hoagie has him. So as you can see, Tom Hoagie, once we can get the computer to unfreeze here, we'll eventually get there. So I'm just going to chill out until it figures itself out and go to the next guy, which is Corey Connors. He's 18th in the model. Corey Connors is a ball striking beast. Let's see what it says. We've lost our notes even, guys. Oh, not good. Back 9 bets breakdown going on over here. So we'll let's see if we do 1 or 2 things, kind of get out of there. Look, this is the vault. Still not click. Not good. Okay, well, I'm going to just restart some Excel, talk a bit of crap about Corey Connors off the cuff, because Corey Connors has been putting very, very badly. And somehow we still want to play him a little bit because the ball striking is just far too good to ignore. Corey Connors is someone that you absolutely want to put in your DFS lineup if you're going to be playing him for a good solid 4 days. He makes a decent amount of birdies because he hits a lot of shots to a casual 3, 4, 5 feet from a wedge range. So that's what's going on with Corey Connors. We're going to enjoy him. And we are back now. Apologies for the delay. We can now click back in the Excel sheet. It's time to go into Corey Connors' DMs over here and tell him what's up. Look at this approach play. Dark green. Love to see that. The bunker stuff. Going to need some Shane Lowry love. But Corey Connors, 8K for Corey Connors, the ball striking machine. What are we doing there? If he can keep his putting okay, so he's just not hemorrhaging strokes like he's been doing lately, I love what he can do. He's going to be in the fairway. He's got decent length. You know, his distance is average. His accuracy is incredible. Always going to be in the fairway. Always going to be hitting birdie putts. Let's see what he can get up to. Victor Hovland's going to be very popular after a good week last week. He's going to need to figure out what he's doing on around the greens because he exits Sandman. The guy's bunker play is catastrophically bad at times. What is going to happen this week? Is he going to show up? Is he not? Victor Hovland's ball striking, on the other hand, is sensational. He's a very good ball striker. Obviously, we all know this about him. He's got the length off the tee. Very, very good from 125 to 200 and 250 plus. Love to see that from him. And he's not too shabby when it comes to putting, but someone mentioned me on Twitter that his Bermuda putting is actually pretty bad. And look at this. It's a full point. He's putting on all the other surfaces is 0.88. His last 50 rounds on Bermuda is negative 0.17. So, yeah, I think 15% owned Victor going to be a fade for us. I like that. I'm all for it. We're going to go to Billy Horschel, who's 20th in the model and is sensational out of the bunkers, who hits in the fairway all the time. And just his average iron play is what holds him back. But we saw at the President's Cup, Billy Horschel is scintillatingly good out of bunkers. So if he's in the bunker after a bad approach, he's going to make an up and down, most likely. We can see what he can get up to. Look at his putting on Bermuda, one of the best in the field, not named Taylor Montgomery, we were going to be getting to here shortly. But Billy Horschel is one of my favorite players. You have very good out of the sand, super accurate off the tee, but going to be in a lot of bunkers with poor approach play. I agree with what Byron from last night said. Absolutely, Billy Horschel. Let's go for him. 5% ownership at 8K. He's won a tournament this year, folks, on a medium difficulty golf course that requires accuracy off the tee at the Memorial. Not so much accuracy here, but we saw the key stats said, even though distance is paramount, accuracy is still very important here. If you miss your tee shot, you can end up losing a lot of shots because there's water, there's sand, there's like sandy tree-lined areas, wood. I think is out of bounds. Keep your ball in the fairway, folks. I know they said the greens of fairways are big, but accuracy off the tee, according to the stats, is important. Billy Horschel's got that. Great bunker player, good short game. If he can just get the irons figured out, man, he's going to provide some good upside and some good leverage at 5% owned. Tommy Fleetwood, 21st in the model, 9% owned, $7,600. This is a really sad thing to say, but this is the same situation as Tony Finau. When he lost his father-in-law, Tommy Fleetwood has just recently lost his mother. So sorry, Tommy. Really sad to hear that. Golf is such a mental game, and I think your mind has to be there. And I'm out on Tommy Fleetwood until we can see some good positive results. We haven't seen anything fantastic from him. He missed the FedEx Cup to be with his family. So I'm out on Tommy Fleetwood, even though his price is very nice and he's one of the better medium golf course players. I mean, he's very, very good on medium golf courses. But I just don't think he's going to have it right now. Until he does, then we'll pounce. But he needs to show us a little bit of stuff first before we get there. I think, he's going to be struggling for a little bit until he gets his mental stuff figured out. Keith Mitchell, very, very nice. 22nd in the model, $7,200, 13-ish% owned. He's going to be very popular because, man, his driving ability on this golf course is going to be paramount. Then we throw him on some Bermuda putting surfaces, which he's not too bad at. But, man, Keith Mitchell can score on the par fives because he's got length, he's got power, and he's got poise. And he's going to be driving those drivable par fours quite easily. I think he's going to be a fun watch. I think if you're going to dive on some chalk over here, he's a 22nd ranked guy in the model, $7,200. That's cheaper than Russell Henley. He's only a few spots behind him. And I think he actually suits this golf course better than Russell. The iron play, not as good as Russell's. Russell's is like world class. So that's what we're getting from Russell. But Keith Mitchell is average out of the sand, got a very average rest of his game, but off the tee, he's exceptional. So we love to see that. Taylor Montgomery is $8,200. I love me some Taylor Montgomery. So his approach play over the last 24 rounds is negative. But if you go to his little note that I wrote here last night, he lost 5 strokes on approach in round 1 of the Shriners. Full send, exclamation point. Yes, He lost 5 strokes in one round of golf. If you take that out, he's averaging 0.45 strokes per round on approach. He's got distance off the tee. He's one of the longer hitters, and he's the best putter in the field. I know it's been a very small baseline or sample size for his putting, but we know he was a very good putter on the Corn Ferry Tour, and this is going to be his first tournament that he gets to play against all the big dogs. And he's finished outside. He got stuck in a bush in Vegas. Who hasn't done that before? So we've all been there. Taylor Montgomery lost 5 strokes in round 1 on approach because he was trying to hack it out of a bush. It happens. That's probably not going to happen here, hopefully. Maybe he learned his lesson on course management. Let's see what he can get up to. I love him here. I think he can scramble lights out. He's got the distance off the tee. His approach play is very solid. He's shown he can handle the PGA Tour pressure better than most of the other Corn Ferry Tour guys. This guy is a superstar in the making. We're going to be on him $8,200. Absolutely. We can eat a little bit of chalk down here because we haven't gone with Rory at the top. Hopefully Rory sucks. We're going to take a gamble on that, but it is what it is. Everything about Taylor Montgomery is amazing. Cameron Davis just never got him right. He's a tee to green beast, but can the putter show up on Bermuda? Why? Putter on Bermuda, negative 0.46. No bueno for Cam Davis. For that reason, we are out. We're going to go to Keith Mitchell instead. We're going to go to a guy like Brian Harman. Yes, we love ourselves some Charmin Harman. He's a cheap pivot, accurate off the tee, putts well on Bermuda, great out the sand. Love the note that Linda Q sent us from last night. And I agree. I mean, he's fantastic around the greens when it comes to bunker play. He's awesome off the tee when it comes to accuracy. Doesn't have any good distance. But if you don't have distance and your accuracy is average, no good. But if your accuracy is very, very good and you lack distance, I'm fine with that. If you take a look at his proximity numbers from 125 to 200, he's also average. But he's accurate off the tee and he's a very good putter. And if he's missing greens, his sand play is sensational. So he should be getting up and down a lot. Love to see that from Brian Harman, $7,600. Let's go there. Keegan Bradley just won a golf tournament, and he's looking like he's going to be single figures at $8,400 on a Ball Strikers golf course for 4 days. I missed the boat on Keegan Bradley for the outright, and that's very sad, but that's okay. My note here from last night said, not interested after win, but he's looking super under-owned. This guy just won a tournament. He just said he wants to be on the Ryder Cup. If you're going to capitalize on your current form right now, I don't think he's going to coast this week. I think he's going to put the foot on the gas and try and do as well as he can this week against the best guys in the world. 15 of the top 20 in the world are here. That's how you get world ranking points. That's how you impress your captain, Zach Johnson, who Keegan knows, obviously. So go for it, Keegan. If you're going to be single figures, $8,400 on a ball striking course like this, let's go, my dude. Let's absolutely go. I'm back on you there. Let's rock and roll. Mito Pereira, pull off the tee and bunker. I mean, his bunker play is also very bad, but so is Keegan's. But Keegan's off the tee stuff is very, very good. Mito's approach play is one of the best in the field, but he's like cooking bacon with a hole in the pan. If you just get it wrong a little bit, there's an absolute fire. But if you can survive the fire, the bacon's amazing. I don't know what the hole in the pan's got to do with the bacon quality, but I think it's got to do with the fact that the stove's on fire half the round, because Mito Pereira shot a 77 in Japan. And then 67, 68, 67. What are you doing, Mito? What are you doing? So he's going to be super owned. Happy to pivot off of him. I'm only on Mito in DFS when he's low owned. We're going to go to Brian Harman, and Keegan Bradley. Absolutely want those two guys in our lineup. Emiliano Grillo. Why is he $7,900? T2 miscut, T2, T31, T19, T25, and then he had a T73rd at the Shriners, and then wrapped it up with a 4th place in Japan. Past this week doesn't go back-to-back good weeks. I know I have had this discussion with someone on Twitter. Jesse, thank you for your chat. That was really fun. I learned a lot, and I agree with you. I agree with what I said as well. I'm going to be out on Emiliano Grillo. I'm not a fan of this ownership. He's going to be very popular. We've been on Emiliano Grillo enough. We don't have to ride that wave. We're just out on him this week. Even though he's super cheap, the ownership is a problem. Let's keep skipping down here to some guys that we want to chat about. Scott Stallings, 90 to 1. He's in the article. 90 to 1. Scott Stallings finished second in the playoffs at the Tour Championship. Sorry, at the BMW Championship. He finished second in that event behind Patrick Cantley, I believe. He's $7,200. Scott Stallings. Over the last 24 rounds, we've got the Tour Championship in there, which was a catastrophe. If you take out the -8 strokes that he lost at that event, this recent 24 rounds is looking beautiful. Scott Stallings is so solid. Off the tee, he's so solid on approach. He's so solid around the greens. All of his recent stuff is totally tainted by the Tour Championship, where he played 4 rounds of disastrous golf. He played so bad he just needed to miss the cut, so he could only include 2 of those rounds, so it didn't mess up his stats that much, but he played 4, and he just wasn't there. He came back at the Sanderson, was in contention, finished T13, melted down a bit on Sunday. In this kind of field, I don't think he's going to be entering the weekend leading. Give us a Scott Stallings that's just in the chase. I love him. Love him here. 90 to 1 in the article. I'm probably going to dive in on him there too. 7% owned Scott Stallings at $7,200. What? T30 plus 100 for Scott Stallings. You're going to tell me Scott Stallings isn't going to finish T30 out of 78 people with a bunch of Korean people just added to the bottom of the leaderboard? He's got to beat like half the field at even money. Scott Stallings is one of the best golfers in this field recently. That just doesn't make sense to me. So DFS, sign us up. Outright, sign us up. And a top 30. A Scott Stallings top 30? Woo! Let's go. Plus 100. Ties paid out in full on BetMGM. This Sang-Young Kim is amazing. I don't know what he's getting up to. I don't know where he showed up from. He wasn't a very consistent golfer on the Korn Ferry Tour. His last 3 events, he was killer and showed up on the PGA Tour and just like said, hello, I'm gonna play well. And he has. So he's going to be popular at 11% owned down here at $7,100. I think Scott Stallings is a better play than him. I think he's a better player. And he's going to be about half the ownership of this guy. So if you're going to pivot, go to Scott Stallings there. I love that play. Even though this SH Kim guy is very, very good. Sahith Theegala never played better than T16 after a good event. T10 fade if popular. I don't think he's going to be popular though. You're going to give this guy 4 rounds. He's going to fire off a banger in one of them. He's very, very explosive. He's got length off the tee. Doesn't seem like it off the distance thing, but he's got length. And his par 5 scoring is fantastic. He's okay. He's actually very bad out of the bunkers. So, but his ownership play is if he's 5% owned, Sahith Theegala is going to be on the card in our DFS pool for sure. Seamus Power, 110 to 1 on Bet Rivers. Plus 130 for a top 30 for Seamus Powers on BetMGM. Ties paid in full. Seamus Power. He is phenomenal on par 5s. He's very, very good on the par 5s. He's one of the better par 5 scorers. His bogey avoidance is very, very good. His putting on Bermuda is very good too. It's not very good. It's average. He's a very good putter in general though. We love to see ourselves a little bit of Seamus. He's 7K. He's 4% owned. He just gets the ball in the hole. His scoring metrics are way better than his ball striking around the green metrics, whatever. Like, he just gets the ball in the hole however he has to. Bogey avoidance, scintillating. Par 5 scoring, very, very good. He finished top 20 here at this course last year. So he's played here once already. He knows what it's about. I love him. 4%, 5% owned, 7K flat. Seamus Power plus 130 for a top 30 on BetMGM. 110 to 1 on Bet Rivers for Seamus Power to win this golf tournament. His recent form is crap, but he somehow just manages, if the conditions are very tough, he's going to be the guy here. And he's grinding away on the approach play, which has been holding him back recently. He's had a few weeks off. Maybe he's worked on it a bit, and he comes back hitting those irons well. This guy's a very good golfer. He's a very, very good golfer, and we want to be on him when he plays well. Let's scoot all the way down here to Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler is another outright that we have in the article. He's 80-1. He just finished second in Japan. He suits his golf course. I think he finished second at the CJ Cup in Vegas last year. So he likes this tournament. I think he's a very good golf course fit. If you look at his distance, it's the only green thing over a while. His game has bounced back since changing his coach and caddy. So recently he's playing much better golf. I think he's finished second and sixth in his last 3 tournaments. His proximity numbers from 125 to 200 and 250 plus are very nice. He's very tidy around the greens. Out of the sand, he's very impressive. Give me all the Ricky Fowler. He's going to be under 10% owned at $7,400. We want to get on him early. That's when you can get the leverage. That's when we know Ricky Fowler is going to be bombing it over the dog legs, making putts, keeping him tidy out of the sand. $7,400. Ricky Fowler, 80-1. Go grab a Ricky Fowler ticket for yourself. This guy's going to win a tournament this year. He's changed the coach, changed the caddy. It's go time. This guy's ready to rock and roll. Moving on down the board, Jason Day, absolute power play, waiting for him to explode. Ball striking is there. Can we not lose 2 strokes in a round on the greens? Get it together on the greens, Jason Day. You were one of the best putters in the world at one point. What happened? Get it together. $7,500. He's 61st in the model. But if you look at his recent approach play, it is phenomenal. He's like one of the best approach players in the field over the last little while. The putter has been garbage, hot garbage. Jason Day needs to get it figured out on the greens. Once he does that, he's going to be good. Very good out of the bunkers, very good around the greens. If he can get the putter working, it's going to be fun to watch him play. He's going to be low owned, $7,500. J Day, Bay. Sepp Straka, 110-1, BetMGM, I believe, or 100-1, 90-1, whatever. Big number on Sepp, who's been in 2 playoffs in the last 5 events. 26th player in the world, Sepp Straka. Under 10% owned, $7,400. Almost triple-digit outright odds. Top 30, plus 100, Sepp Straka. Bing, bang, bong. Let's go. That seems like a no-brainer to me. This guy has been cooking. Brian, in the chat, what's up, my dude? Thanks for joining again. As always, you're a rock star. Hideki Week, low ownership. We don't have to play too much of him to get exposure. Love it. I think he suits this golf course perfectly, my bro. Let's ride. Let's do some Hideki stuff there. Absolutely. So, yeah, Sepp Straka, another outright for us, another player pool addition. Love his game here. The distance off the tee, very average, but he's a good driver of the golf ball. His entire statistical profile has changed since the playoffs last season. He's on the up. He's going to win a tournament here very soon. So catch yourself some Sepp Straka at 90-1. Then another guy we want in our player pool at $6,500, which we don't have too many of in this week's edition of Back 9 Bets, episode 39, Enter Sandman. Justin Suh, one of the more popular Korn Ferry Tour guys. I think it seems like there's only a few of them that made it onto this event. I don't know how he even got exempt into this event, but he's $6,500. He's got awesome driving distance. He's got very good accuracy off the tee. So his driving ability is solid. When he played on the Korn Ferry Tour, he was very good on medium golf courses. He's been very sketchy on PGA Tour events with cuts. So now he gets himself 4 rounds of guaranteed golf. I think it's going to help his confidence just knowing that he's no cut involved. If you play bad, you play bad, but you're going to get yourself 4 rounds of golf. I think he's a very good golfer. Maybe he just needed a no-cut event to get it together. And I think this course suits his game quite nicely. If he can get his approach play figured out, he's going to be in the mix. $6,500, not going to be very much owned. I like him a lot. And then another Korn Ferry Tour graduate and returner to the PGA Tour is Benny On. Bomb City off the tees, and that's about it. Benny On, $6,500, 4-ish% owned. I think give him 4 rounds. He's going to have a good one in one of the rounds. Let's see what he can get up to. So, love myself some Benny On down here in the $6,500 range. And then One more person I want to mention is Lucas Glover. He's going to ball strike the crap out of this golf course, and then we go from there. I just think he's going to be a nice sneaky little play at $6,300, one of the cheapest guys that I'm willing to go to. Give me a little bit of Lucas Glover, and then we cook with gas. So yes, that's what's cooking over here on Back Nine Bets, episode 39, into Sandman. The two persons that I think stand the best chance to win this week, Shane Lowry and Max Homer. Go grab yourselves one of those. Also, check out all the golf content we're putting out on Rotoballer. This podcast is presented by them. Thank you so much to them. It's amazing. Rotoballer.com/radio. Use use the code Maniac for 50% off there, folks. And then if you're watching this, that's not in the live stream, comment after this video goes live. We want it in the comment section on just the normal YouTube stuff. Comment your favorite bet from the episode. Leave your Twitter handle so I can reach out to you. Get yourself a free premium package for Rotoballer PGA today. Go do it. Thank you so much, friends, family, fans. Catch you guys next week for the Bermuda, where we have a way worse field. So please just enjoy the good quality golf that you're going to watch this week. Be a good human as well. The world is just a cluster of disaster at the moment. Be a good person. Make someone else's life better. Make your wife smile. Make your dog wag his tail a few more times than he should in a day. Just do baby things that make the world a better place. Till next week, gentlemen, ladies, fans, we'll catch you later. Linda Q, out.